Back and
the Radio Wammo Breakfast.
He'd Like a Hole alive in the Kiwi studio as well with me this morning. Booger and
we're back in
Andrew.
here.
Hello to you both.
Hello. Hello.
Crikey, Dick. I'd never thought when I was listening to He'd Like a Hole as a teenager in the mid-90s that eventually, one day, 15 years later, we'll be talking on the radio with a brand new album on the way.
Oh, I thought you were going to say talking to a couple of old scroats.
Never. The album Blood Will Out is out on Monday. Crikey, Dick, you guys pretty proud of this?
Extremely proud, actually. As I have probably been every time I communicate with the guys, I will mention something, about
proud baby.
having extremely swollen parts of the body over
Glands.
this. Yeah.
Swollen glands over it.
I mean, there's been a big gap in time, right? It's been many years in between then and now. Obviously, a lot of water under the bridge and whatnot, but you've refound the music.
Yeah.
And rediscovered it. But did you ever stop playing, really?
Well, for me personally, I gave up music for a little while, I went into other things. I mean, when He'd Like a Hole ended, it didn't actually hit me for a couple of years, a bit of a shock to the system after a couple of years, and it might sound a little bit wanky, but, I realised that the adulation, that you get when you're in a band at its height, there was no more of that, and there wasn't going to be getting on stage, and,
That in itself is addictive, right?
Oh, yeah, you can get off on that totally.
Yeah. It's it's what keeps you going, or it gets you up in the afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I've got bodyguards, It's not like in New Zealand you got bodyguards and that.
But
I mean, they do get the red carpet out for the touries, but that's a bit laughable.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people in the public eye talk about that so much, even though, here in New Zealand there is, that whole tall poppy thing and people sort of want to knock you down, but there is a high about being in the public eye, and I don't think a lot of people talk about that very much, and when it's gone, you feel quite alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a point of case, look at Paul Henry,
Yeah.
He's out of the limelight. But, I was on Air New Zealand and I saw him in a really bad ad for Air New Zealand. Yeah. And it is bad. And he's probably looking for money.
I think, but that's right. But I think with some characters like Paul Henry, he only probably needs to look into the mirror and he doesn't feel alone, It just,
I know.
He's back
it's a
anyway,
little bit
isn't he?
different. Yeah, he's back. Yeah. Yeah.
Who cares?
Tell us about the songs on the new album, and are you finding a new flavour, or you're just sort of rediscovering what it was to be He'd Like a Hole in the 90s and doing it again? What is it?
Well, with Andrew Ashton on board, as another guitarist, he has a flavour as well, to himself, and it is evident on this record, that you can hear something different happening. His guitaring is fantastic. His rhythm is great. His solos are phenomenally epic, and in some areas I think he's channeling a bit of Iommi.
Yeah.
It's still got Halar written all over. I mean, no, I'm not going with Halar because that was an abbreviation that we acquired years ago.
I didn't like that abbreviation.
We are He'd Like a Hole. Yeah, we're not Halar.
Are there still trumpets?
No.
No trumpets?
No.
I like the trumpet.
Trumpets was good, but I can barely play guitar,
Yeah.
Without thinking about picking up something else.
True, mate. I mean, you are a shocker.
So if you're going to play a classic like who does that? How does? Okay.
Yeah. And we have been getting. We got this girl, Show Pony, with the red mohawk, who came along to do Crying Shame trumpet, and what we were actually going to do for the tour is that we're probably going to play Crying Shame, but we don't have a trumpet player. Yeah. We don't really want to, sample it and have it, triggered off by the drummer.
A kazoo. A kazoo would do it.
A kazoo would be good, or the gargle of the water is quite, unique. But what I'm saying is that if anyone out there can play trumpet, and I'm talking good, if you'd like
trumpet, not skin trumpet.
If you'd like to play trumpet on Crying Shame, you're more than welcome to give it a bloody crack. Come along to each, town that we're in, And we'll be at sound check, I'd say 5, 6 o'clock.
You might end up with a trumpet orchestra turning up.
Let us know in plenty of time as well so I can learn it.
You could go onto MySpace if you like, or Facebook would be better.
Yeah.
If you think you can cut Crying Shame, and I'm serious, we do need someone in each town to play it. So there it is. There's the challenge.
You've thrown the glove down.
You got the chops. Come and play it.
Do it. So, have you been reconnecting with fans in the past year or so?
What, do you mean other bands?
No, fans.
Oh, fans. Sorry, I just cleaned the shit out of my ears.
And since Head Like a Hole was around in the 90s, there's been this thing called the internet formed, and everyone's using, so it's a lot easier to connect these days with fans.
Facebook's been going mental, actually, because we've got a Head Like a Hole group.
Yeah.
And every day when I open up my email and push the old inbox, it just goes floods with,
Cool.
8 miles.
Oh, geez, at least 20, 30 messages. And Twitter. I mean, I'm twitting all day long, mate. I can't finish the twit. I mean, I don't twit.
You don't?
I hate twitting. Twitting's for twits, mate.
Leave it up to someone else in the band. They might take care of that. But anyway, you guys are going to be playing in August all over the show. In Dunedin, first of all, then Queenstown and Invercargill, Wellington, Palmerston North, New Plymouth, and Auckland, Hamilton, Tauranga, finishing up in Tauranga on the 3rd of September. That's a good old tour.
Yeah, there might be a mystery show as well.
Okay, great.
We're thinking.
It's still a mystery.
Yeah, it could be anywhere. Maybe it could be Waikanae.
Yeah.
Could be Napier.
Yeah.
Not many people are going to Naples these days.
Really?
No.
Oh, I like Napier.
I'm a Giant are going to Napier.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's about the only band
You can hear the sea animals screaming at night from the aquarium they have there.
You can, yes.
Scream. Quite frightening.
Let me out. There's no Christchurch on here, unfortunately. Is there?
Well,
we're scared.
Yeah.
We'd like to help you out, Christchurch, but we're quite honestly too scared to go down there.
Yeah, with the extra bass rumble as we start playing, we could be sucked into one of those.
We'd have to in a bouncy castle to be safe.
Caverns. The earth would open up, suck us,
Yeah.
Suck us into the bowels of hell.
Way to go
That's
out.
rock and roll.
I reckon.
Why not?
As we go down, it'll be like 666, the number of the beast.
Go and get the album. It's going to be out on
Monday.
Monday. Blood Will Out. It's got a skull on the front.
Buy it.
That's Is that a band member on the front?
No.
That's
I mean, if it could have been actually, if that was our band member, it could have been me because I've got that bulbous sort of eyebrow thing going down that people have.
Yeah.
Primitive.
And if I was a punter and looking at buying the Head Like a Hole CD, I would go into a shop and buy it, and have it in my hands, look through the artwork, the package, rather than downloading it.
The lyrics are in there as well.
Yeah,
That's
you
nice.
can sing along.
Yeah.
I like it when people include lyrics. Cool. All right. Head Like a Hole Booger and Andrew, thanks so much for coming on in.
Thanks for having us.
Let's play something from the
Pleasure.
album. This is a track called Blood Will Out.
This is probably a direction that our Head Like a Hole fans probably haven't have heard before. So, it's something different off the record.
Classical jazzy.
Classical jazz track now from Head Like a Hole. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.